Hello guys, welcome to my relationship corner, Candid Chat. I trust you are taking it one step at a time. Well, thank you so much for being part of this platform. If you are yet to subscribe to this, what are you waiting for? Please do well to subscribe to my content, like, share, and follow for more. Alright, so today on Candid Chat, as always, we shall be hitting the street talking about preparing for the wedding versus the marriage itself. Most of the times we envision how we want our marriage to look like, the kind of wedding gowns we want to wear, what the husband will wear, what the venue should look like, the kind of food, drinks, the ashwebi, all the razzmatazz that comes with the wedding. And most often we forget to sit down to talk about those nitty gritties, okay, the very key elements, of the marriage. We forget to look at life after the wedding, after the sharing, the clapping, the dance steps, the music, all that comes with the celebration. You're going to get home to meet with your husband. What becomes of the marriage? Dating and marriage are two different things. Okay, so the things that happens during dating might not be seen in the marriage itself. And so how are you preparing, how are you planning to navigate these challenges? They say marriage is not a bed of roses. Okay, until you test it, you will never know it. So how are you planning and preparing to navigate these the challenges when they come, the ups, the downs, the wonderful moment, the not too wonderful moment, the amazing time together? Life may happen. How are you planning to navigate these challenges? That will be our focus today on Candid Chat. You know how we do it. Let's get to the street. Let's feel the pulse of the people and find out. You too, leave us with your comments. Okay, what do you think? Which is more important? Okay, which is more important? Let's get your thoughts. Let's get your view.
God will punish you. You don't answer me. Are you a virgin?
I don't know.
Adora, let's find out from you. We're talking about wedding, preparation for wedding
Yeah.
versus marriage itself.
Yeah.
To you, which should we pay more attention to? And
I-
why?
Particularly for me, I'm someone who likes to invest into future, and I don't look at the moment. So when people talk about relationship or weddings, for instance, I feel like they should do best what is at their reach or what is at their capacity. Yeah, not essentially the wedding, throwing a lavishing wedding, and then you don't have a good relationship with your partner that will last you a lifetime.
But people fail to understand that nobody remembers the wedding gown of the bride. Nobody remembers the suit of the groom. After the wedding, everybody goes back home. But the marriage is something that you have to go back and you start seeing what you didn't plan for. So I would say you should plan more for the marriage, not the wedding.
What do you think we should do?
It is better we concentrate more on the continuation after the wedding, because after the wedding everybody goes. You are going to face the music. So how you continue from there matters a lot.
We know that the wedding is just one day, but that one day also takes a lot of time, years in planning. But ultimately, it will end in marriage, which will last forever. So the marriage itself is the ultimate thing, is the main thing. But this other part of it, without it, you cannot arrive at the second part. So the both are very, very important. But however, the marriage itself is the principle of it all. So in preparing for that, it means that the man should be able to, as he's beginning to grow and to think of marriage, he should begin to look at certain things he will tolerate. He should begin to look at means of income, how he'll be able to take care of his family for a long time, looking at investments, looking at, what will be able to generate funds. He should be able to think more of himself, not relying on people.
Actually, both of them are important because marriage is also once in a lifetime. I mean, the wedding and the preparation is just once in a lifetime. You don't go back to do it again, apart from the anniversary you celebrate. But the marriage proper, living with your husband, we should pay more attention on that than just the preparation. Because let's assume you prepare for the marriage for a month or 2 months, but in your marriage you stay there for 70 years, you could stay there for 80 years, you know, depending on your lifespan God has given to you. So we should pay more attention on the marriage. That's why churches they organize where they educate the couple before they marry. You know, they train them, they ask them their likes, their dislikes, give them some time to know themselves so that they can build up their relationship, because that determines whether your marriage is built on solid ground or not. But just like we advise, like Christians, you should know God, your partner should also know God. From there you kick off. And marriage is not just love that sustains marriage. Respect sustains marriage, understanding sustains marriage, communication sustains marriage. There are so many rudiments, but it's when you enter your own marriage you make it work. And making marriage work deserves hard work, both from the man and the woman. When the man is shitting the shit, the woman will be eating the shit. When the woman is shitting the shit, the man will be eating the shit. That's how it works.
Oh my God!
Nowadays, people tend to celebrate the wedding more and not the marriage. Because after the wedding, you face reality, which is the real marriage and every other thing in marriage. People tend to celebrate and then the luxury wedding. Some person one of my friends that told me about how she wants her wedding to be, how she wants it to be the talk of the town. But the important thing I know is the marriage and not the wedding. That's the more important thing.
Preparing for wedding versus the marriage itself. In your own thoughts, in your own opinion, which one should we pay attention to? Is it the one-day glamour or the long-time enjoyment? Let's hear from you.
Is the marriage proper? Wedding is just one day. In fact, as a matter of fact, what happens on the wedding day has nothing to do with the marriage itself. So you pay attention to the marriage, far more than the one-day show. Marriage goes beyond what we perceive to be husband and wife union. It's something that, like the scripture says, till death does them part or do us part. So the reason why you must pay attention is because if you don't get it right in marriage, then that one-day wedding stuff is a waste of time. That's just the truth.
So I actually think that people should focus more on the marriage itself as opposed to the wedding. The wedding is equally important, but I mean the marriage is a lifetime, so, and then the wedding is probably 1 day or 2 days where people decide to do traditional and white wedding on different days. So I feel like people should pay more attention to the marriage because that's like what really defines their lives, their future and everything. I think first things first, I think people should look at their values. They need to look at their values, if their values align, because that will really determine if they'll be able to live together and be compatible. I think they should also talk about finances, children, career paths. These are the things that really bring tension to the family. So people need to talk about it and plan it out in preparation for their lives together.
I believe marriage is more important than the wedding because wedding is the celebration, and after the celebration is when the whole marriage is going to start. The both people that are going to get married are supposed to be compatible. They should know what they are getting into, because after the glamour and everybody is gone, people are going to face life together and people have to understand each other. If not, in less than a year, the marriage is going to end.
Anybody could get up and do a ceremony, a party. You could gather friends and just do a party. But then it is the lasting of the party that counts. So you prepare for the marriage, how to keep yourself and your spouse happy. It's not by just it's beyond, we understand ourselves. No, you have to be real to yourselves. Make out plans. This thing is intentionally planned for. Each time you do a review to check whether the plans are in place or not. If not, you will crash. It is lack of planning that causes people to fail. Each time you review and check whether the vows you made, you're keeping to it. Most times you go back to the vow to review it. If not, it will fail.
So we're talking about preparing for the wedding versus the marriage itself.
Okay.
What's your take on that? Which one should we pay more attention to? Is it the wedding or the marriage itself? Tell us.
Okay, I think we should pay more attention to the marriage itself, because the ceremony comes and goes with the massive population that you gather that day, with the people that comes here and there. They will come for the wedding, but they will not be there for the marriage itself. I think the first thing for you to do to prepare for a marriage is to be, one, to have time to know your spouse. Know yourselves. Don't be in a hurry, because if you hurriedly rush in, you hurriedly rush out for sure. So one, be patient and listen to yourself, listen to your partner.
And I feel like the marriage is important because wedding is just a ceremony. It's important too, but wedding is more of a ceremony where you invite people to come and watch you dance and swear your vows. But the marriage is more important because that's what determines the happiness of the couple. And if they have children, the children look up to the marriage. You understand? So how the marriage is actually trained the children's whole life. I grew up in a very loving family where my dad loved my mom a lot, and I grew up to be a lover girl. So, and I grew up with a mental sane health. So I feel like the marriage is way more important than the wedding can ever be.
Before I got married, I had made a preparation. I made several preparations towards how my future in the marriage will be. So I believe strongly that if you want to go into marriage, you have to remember or put in place all those machineries that will help you to build a better home in future. The preparation towards the marriage is just a flamboyant way of you heading towards the higher stage of life, producing children and taking care of them.
According to the Bible, it said that marriage is when you're committed to your spouse. It's not necessarily having a wedding. You can just get traditionally wedded, or you can just go for a court wedding and you guys are living well. But after spending all those money with weddings and everything, you might not actually be together. So I think marriage is actually the proper thing. You need to love each other, you need to be committed.
Well, to me, the glamour is beautiful, no doubt, but I feel marriage is more important because wedding is just like now, after everything, everybody goes home. But marriage is where the whole thing starts. Like, that's when you see your character and everything. You know if you can tolerate or not and all that. That's the main thing. Wedding is just, you celebrate, everybody's happy. Then they go home, or you go home to with your husband. So I think marriage is, that's it for marriage. Marriage is the most important thing.
So you've heard it there from across sections of both male, female, talking about which is more important. If you ask me, I will say that yes, the wedding is also very important because you will live with it all the days of your life. If you get it right, you do not have reasons, to regret. Okay, if everything as planned, happens, you'll be very excited and happy. And every time you look back to your wedding day, you're excited about the kind of things you were able to achieve, the clothes, the drinks, the food, the dance, the music, everything that, happened on that day. But I am of the opinion that yes, as much as we're trying to prepare for the wedding itself, we must take into account the key things that we need to do to ensure that we enjoy life even after the marriage. You see, if you hurry in, you will definitely hurry out. If you do not pay attention to the details, okay, and controlling your anger, communication issue, intimacy, love, transparency, compatibility, and all of these other things, if you do not pay attention to it when you get into marriage and the chapters begin to open, my dear, it won't be easy. It takes the grace of God for you to, succeed. So as much as we're preparing for the wedding, let's not forget to put the necessary shock absorbers just in case when you get into the marriage and you begin to see those things that will make you want to ask yourself, really, is it what it is? But if you already prepare, they will not take you unawares. Thank you for watching. You like my content, please once again subscribe to my channel, and if you have done so, thank you very much. Give these a huge thumbs up. All right, and also please interact with us. We'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Thank you very much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.